Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Radha Madhav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Dharma Prajita Kaitavatra Paramo Nirmat Saranam Satam, Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam Tapatra Mulanam, Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vaparer Ishwaraha, Sadyo Hridya Varudya Titra Kritibi Susru Subis Tatksana. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudhirayet nasta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatyutama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, Chapter 11, text number 4 and 5. So the verse on the board is verse number 5. So I'll read the Sanskrit verse of text number 4, and then text number 5 we'll chant together. Chapter entitled Lord Krishna's Entrance into Dwarka. Dtatropanīta-balayo raver dīpam ivādṛtāḥ ātma-ārāmam pūrṇa-kāmaṁ nija-lābhena nitya-dā. Text number 5, you can repeat. Prīty-utphulla-mukhāḥ procur harṣa-gadgadayā girā pitaraṁ sarva-suhṛdam avitāram ivārbhakāḥ prīty-utphulla-mukhāḥ procur harṣa-gadgadayā girā pitaraṁ sarva-suhṛdam avitāram ivārbhakāḥ. Kindly chant. Prīty-utphulla-mukhāḥ procur harṣa-gadgadayā girā pitaraṁ sarva-suhṛdam avitāram ivārbhakāḥ. Prīty-utphulla-mukhāḥ procur harṣa-gadgadayā girā pitaraṁ sarva-suhṛdam avitāram ivārbhakāḥ. Prīty-utphulla-mukhāḥ procur harṣa-gadgadayā girā pitaraṁ sarva-suhṛdam avitāram ivārbhakāḥ. Matajis. Prīty-utphulla-mukhāḥ procur harṣa-gadgadayā girā pitaraṁ sarva-suhṛdam avitāram ivārbhakāḥ. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tatra, thereupon, upanīta, having offered balayaḥ, presentation, raveḥ, up to the sun, dīpam, lamp, light, ādṛtāḥ, being evaluated, ātmārāmam, unto the self-sufficient, pūrṇa-kāmaṁ, fully satisfied, nija-lābhena, by his own potencies, nitya-dā, one who supplies incessantly, prīti, affection, utphulla-mukhāḥ, cheerful faces, procur, sad, harṣa, gladdened, gadgadayā, ecstatic, girā, speeches, pitaraṁ, unto the Father, sarva, all, suhṛdam, friends, avitāram, the guardian, light, ivārbhakāḥ, words. Translation. The citizens arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one who, by his own potency, incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamb to the sun. Yet the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language to receive the Lord, just as wards welcome their guardians and father. Kindly repeat. The citizens arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one, who, by his own potency, incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamb to the sun. Yet the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language to receive the Lord, just as wards welcome their guardian and father. Purport. The Supreme Lord Krishna is described herein as ātma-ārāmam. He is self-sufficient, and there is no need for him to seek happiness from anything beyond himself. He is self-sufficient because his very transcendental existence is total bliss. He is eternally existent, he is all cognizant and all blissful. Therefore, any presentation, however valuable it may be, is not needed by him, but still, because he is the well-wisher for one and all, he accepts from everyone everything that is offered to him in pure devotional service. It is not that he is in want for such things, because the things are themselves generated from his energy. The comparison is made herein that making offerings to the Lord is something like offering a lamb in the worship of the sun god. Anything fiery and illuminating is but an emanation of the energy of the sun. Yet to worship the sun god, it is necessary to offer him a lamb. In the worship of the sun, there is some sort of demand made by the worshipper. But in the case of devotional service to the Lord, there is no question of demand from either side. It is all a sign of pure love and affection between the Lord and the devotee. The Lord is Supreme Father of all living beings, and therefore those who are conscious of his vital relation with God can make filial demands from the Father, and the Father is pleased to supply the demands of such obedient sons without bargaining. The Lord is just like the desire tree, and from him everyone can have everything by the causeless mercy of the Lord. As the Supreme Father, the Lord, however, does not supply to a pure devotee what is considered to be a barrier to the discharge of devotional service. Those who are engaged in devotional service of the Lord can rise to the position of unalloyed devotional service by his transcendental attraction. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam panglunglam ghayate girim. Jat kripa tamahang vande Sri Gurun Dtatropanīta-balayo Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Katanchana smrite yasmin duskaram sukaram bhavet. Vismrite viparitam shat Sri Chaitanya namamitam. Hare Krishna. I'll read the translation again. The citizens arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one, who, by his own potency, incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamb to the sun, yet the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language to receive the Lord, just as words welcome their guardian and father. Hare Krishna. So here, such a nice analogy is given. Just like when we worship the sun god, so we offer a lamb. Actually, that fire, the source of the fire is the sun, but still we offer that fire to the sun god. Sometimes also we see in our practice that when we are bathing in Mother Ganges, so we dip ourselves, we offer the very same Ganges water to Mother Ganga. You see, she is the source of this water, but still we offer it. So similarly, everything is belong to Krishna, and the residents of Dwaraka welcoming Krishna here with such a jolly mood and giving some offering to the Lord. Srila Prabhupada explained here that of course everything is belong to Krishna, but when the devotee offer with love and devotion, so Krishna accepts it. So the Isavasya principle is applied here. Yeah, the Isavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatam jagatena tyaktena bhunjita ma grida kasya shvidanam. So everything is owned and controlled by Krishna. And here also the word is used is ātma-ārāmam, describing Krishna's position that he always being satisfied within himself. He doesn't have to get some kind of happiness from somewhere else. So he is fully self-sufficient, self-satisfied. ātma-ārāmam. Yeah. But Srila Prabhupada also in many occasions he gave the example of a father. The father sometimes may give some money to the son, to his son. And from that money, so the son may purchase something as a gift for his own father. So the father is very pleased to accept that. So similarly, our position is like that. Sometimes we are thinking that why do we need to offer something to Krishna? Everything is belong to him. So Krishna doesn't need anything. He is completely satisfied within himself. But he just wants our love. And that's also when we offer something, that's for our benefit. That's for our benefit. In the example in the 10th canto of the fruit vendor, so the fruit vendor, this lady, she heard the good qualities of Lord Krishna from the gopis, you know. And then she was desiring to offer some fruit to Krishna. So she went to Nanda Maharaj's house. So it is described in the 10th canto very nicely. Krini hibo palaniti srutam stavaram achyuta palarti dhanyam ādaya yayau sarva phala prada. So he's the sarva phala prada. He's the fruit giver of all activities, whether it is good or bad. He is the one who awards it. Upadrashta anumantacha. So he is the upadrashta, the supervisor, and the anumanta, the sanction giver. So whatever result that we get, that's actually sanctioned by Krishna. So he is the yaya sarva phala prada. So sarva phala prada, he is the fruit giver of all activities that we perform. But yet krini hivo phalaniti srutam stavaram achyuta. When Lord Achyuta, Lord Sri Krishna, heard that lady, the fruit vendor, calling upon him, here I have some nice fruit from the forest of Vrindavan, I would like to give you. So Lord Krishna, stavaram achyuta dhanyam ādaya. So he immediately took some grains, because he is observing how Nanda Maharaj dealing with different people in terms of bartering some goods using his grains. So Lord Krishna, imitating his father, he took these grains, but we know that his hands are so small that many grains fell down on the ground, and hardly there are some grains remaining on his hand. So ātma-ārāmam, dhanyam means wealth actually, but in that verse it is translated as grains. So Krishna took some grains to offer to the fruit vendor in return for the fruit. Phala-arti means he is hungry for the fruit. How he's the one who's awarding all kind of fruits of our activities, now he's becoming hungry for that fruits offered by the fruit vendor. Phalarti dhanyam ādaya yayo sarva phalaprada. So because he's seeing the intention, the love of the fruit vendor. So when we offer something to Krishna with love and devotion, definitely he will accept it. He will accept it, although everything belongs to him. So the only reason why Krishna accepts is due to our love. Tadaham bhakti upaharitam asnami prāyatātmanaḥ. So because of our love, he accepts that. Just like when Krishna was fed by Mother Yasoda, was breastfeeds by Mother Yasoda, and simultaneously Mother Yasoda was boiling milk. So the milk now overflowed, and he took Krishna out from her lap, and Krishna became so upset. So he still not fully satisfied drinking the milk of Mother Yasoda. Now we know that in the Brahma Samhita it is described, Yakaranar jale bhajati smayoga nidram ananta jagadanda saromakupa. He is lying on the ocean of milk, yet he is wanting the very same milk from Mother Yasoda. That little milk, he wants it because Mother Yasoda's love. What he doesn't have, he has everything. Milk, he's laying on the ocean of milk. Why he needs milk? Because of love, pure love. So that's the first paragraph here from Srila Prabhupada's purport. And then in the second paragraph, Srila Prabhupada explained that Krishna is our father. So we are all Krishna's children. Yeah. Aham bija pradapita. Krishna mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita that he is the seeds-giving father of all living entities. And it is his responsibilities to maintain his children, to fulfill whatever his children's desire. But Srila Prabhupada particularly mentioned here his obedient children, his obedient son. So what is obedient means? Obedient means we are faithfully worshipping Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada also mentioned here that he is the desire tree. The Lord is just like a desire tree. So he is the wish-fulfilling tree for all kind of desires. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur narrate in the Adikanda that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas order, so he made his base now in Nilachal, in Jagannath Puri. So Mother Ganga, she was feeling so much separation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that when this Nimai will come again to bathe, Mother Ganga was yearning so much to get the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is in Nilachal, in Jagannath Puri. So Vrindavan Das Thakur explained that when the Panihati Chidadahi festival taking place, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there. Of course, not everybody could see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but only his very, very close associates can see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there dancing. And actually, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they feed each other with the chiradahi. So there, Vrindavan Das Thakur mentioned, Vancha kalpataru Sri Gaur Sundar Janabir Vancha Purna Kore Nirantar. So Sri Gaur Sundar is the kalpataru, the desire tree. He would fulfill everybody's desire, especially the devotee's desire, his obedient children. Yeah. Janabir Vancha. So what Vancha means, the desire, Janavir, Mother Ganga. Mother Ganga's desire, when this Nimai will come here and bathe in my water. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there on that festival, so he bathed there every single day. And in fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always resides in Raghav Bhavan in Panihati. So till now, Mother Ganga's desire fulfilled. So every day Nimai would come to Ganga and bathe there. So, yeah, but because Lord Krishna is a desire tree, what to speak of spiritual desire? He even fulfills material desire of his devotees. Sometimes devotee has some material desire, but having that material desire does not make him deviate from the service of the Lord. He doesn't go to any other personalities begging something that he wants. The example is like Dhruva Maharaj, yeah. Akama sarva-kamo va moksha-kāma ādṛtāḥ tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta puruṣam param. So ādṛtāḥ means those who are intelligent. So akama, one may has no material desire. Sarva-kama has a lot of material desire, full of material desire. Moksha-kāma, desiring liberation. Tivrena bhakti, he would perform intense devotional service to Krishna to fulfill that desire. So in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, he was desiring something which never been obtained by any personality within the three worlds. So in the fourth canto it is described, Padam tribhuvanot krishtam jigiso sadhuvat mame bruhyasmat pritibir brahma anyair apyana distitam. So Padam tribhuvano utkrishna. Utkrishna means the topmost, the highest. Utkrishna, Padam tribhuvano, in the three world, tribhuvana, tribhuvanot krishnam jigiso sadhuvat mame. So he was inquiring from Narad Muni, I have this material desire. I want to obtain something which is, the topmost within this universe. Bruhi asmad, he said, Bruhi asmad. Please tell me an honest way. He asking for an honest way, not by hook or crook, but an honest way. Bruhi asmad. Prithibir Brahma. I want to obtain that position even higher than my great-grandfather, Brahma, Prithibir Brahma. Anyair apya anadistitam. That never was any personality obtained it before. I want it. So he wants a kingdom greater than Lord Brahma. But he was asking an honest way. And of course, Narad Muni, he instructed him to perform devotional service. He didn't tell him to worship any other demigods. Srila Prabhupada explained in his purport in the Bhagavad Gita, the demigod worship is just like we are bribing governmental official. This is considered to be illegal. This is not truthful. So he was asking an honest way, a truthful way. How can I obtain this? And by worshipping Krishna with intense devotional service, tapasya, so he obtained what he desired. Stana bilasi tapasi stitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra guyam kachan vichim vam apidivyaratnam swamin kritartos mivaram nayache. So stana means position. Stana bilasi tapasi stito aham. I'm performing this great austerity just to get this position greater than Brahma. Tvam praptavan deva munindra guhyam. But as a result, Krishna awards him more than what he was expecting. More than what he was expecting. He got his own planet, and his planet is described as a Vaikuntha planet within the material universe, because that planet will not be destroyed at the time of annihilation. And he awarded that planet, he got the position, what he desired. He was blessed by the Lord to rule over the universe for 36,000 celestial years. Not human calculation, but this is celestial calculation, demigod's calculation. 36,000 was so long. And he got the boon that by the end of his life, he will remember Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. Now he can enjoy, rule over the kingdom. He can enjoy. And at the end of life, he'll go back to Krishna. What a boon. But as a result, he was lamenting for that. 36,000 celestial years, that's so long that I have to wait for that period before I go back to the spiritual world to meet my worshipable Lord face to face. He was lamenting that. But all of us actually desiring such position. Who doesn't want such position? Become a ruler for 36,000 years and full of opulence. And there will be a guarantee that you're going to go back home, back to Godhead after giving up this body. Practically speaking, everybody is desiring that position. But he was lamenting, Kachan vichinvam api divyaratnam. He said that, alas, this is just like, my material desire is just like a broken pieces of glass. Kachan api divyaratnam. I could ask something better than this. But instead of asking pure devotional service, I was asking something which is meant to be destroyed. Material position. Swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache. So he was lamenting. But of course, having said that, our ultimate goal in performing devotional service is simply to get pure love for Krishna. Although it is not completely wrong to have material desires and approaching Krishna for that, but still, the highest goal of performance of devotional service is simply to get Krishna Prema Bhakti. Is simply to get Krishna Prema Bhakti. There is nothing else apart from that. So that is wanted here. It is interesting that Srila Rupa Goswami, in his Nectar of Instruction, Padesmrita, he gives the hierarchy. Of course, from text number 9 to 11, he's glorifying Sri Radha Kunda. But in text number 10, he gives the hierarchy of who is the best person. Who is the best person. So he was giving the hierarchy. Better than the karmis is jnanis. Out of these jnanis, one who achieved liberation is the best. And out of those who get liberation, the best is one who performed devotional service to Krishna. And amongst the devotees, the gopis are the best. And among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the best. And Srimati Radharani and her kunda is non-different. So her kunda is actually the liquid form of Srimati Radharani's emotion, Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna. So we can see the residents of Vrindavan, they are described as the ragatmika. So that attachment, that raga to Krishna is actually their atmika. Atmika means their very life. So from their very birth, they already have this attachment to Krishna. So this is pure devotion. So this is pure devotion. Pure devotion as described by Srila Rupa Goswami. Anyabilashita sunyam jnana karma dhyana vritam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhakti-uttamam. So this is the bhakti, the uttama bhakti, the topmost bhakti, the pure devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport to text number 10 of the Upadesmrita explained why the gopis are the best. The gopis consider the best because they don't know anything apart from pleasing Krishna. That's it. That's the only reason. Even Krishna himself said in the 10th canto to the gopis, Naparayeham niravadya samyujam swasadu kritva vibudayu sapya yama bhajam durjara geha sinkala samrishtadva pratyatu sadunam. Krishna said that Naparaye aham, I cannot repay my debt to all of you, my dear gopis. So even God, the possessor of everything, becomes indebted by his devotees. Isn't it something amazing? So when Krishna accepts our offering, he immediately becomes indebted. Krishna says to the gopi, Naparayaham niravadya samyujam. I cannot repay whatever you have done for me. Shwasadu kritva vibudayu sapya yama bhajam. Yama bhajam. To serve me. To serve me. Yama bhajam durjara geha srinkala. You sacrifice everything. Durjala means very, very difficult. What is very difficult to give up in this material world, material life? Is the family relationship. So the gopis, durjara geha, geha means body. Whatever related to the body, especially the family, husband, wife, sons, children, you know. It's very difficult to sever this attachment. But the gopis so easily just cut it off. When the gopis heard Krishna playing his flute in the forest of Vrindavan in the midnight, so immediately they ran toward Krishna. Some gopis serving their husband, she immediately left. Some gopis breastfeeding their babies, they just put down their babies and went to meet Krishna. So such a such a high level of detachment, and the only purpose is that to please Krishna, because Krishna is calling me. No matter what I'm doing, I should give it up. Just like here, we will see in the later verses on this chapter that some of the residents of Dwaraka, they are dining, they are resting. As soon as they heard Krishna's blowing his counsel, immediately give up those activities and went to receive Lord Krishna. Yama bhajam durjara geha srinkala samrischa tadva pratyatu sadunam. Krishna is confused here. I don't know how to repay my debt. The gopi is considered to be the best. It is also described in the 10th canto. Nayam sriyonga unitanta rate prashadam swaryoshitam nalina ganda rucham kutonya rasot savesya bujadanda grihita kanta labdhasisam ya udagad braja sundarinam. So Sundari means the girls, the gopis, or Braj. Na ayam sriyonga unitanta rate prashadat. There is no better recipient of Lord Krishna's mercy, rati prashadat, of Lord Krishna's mercy, other than the gopis, the young girls in Vrindavan. Swaryositam nalina gandarucho rasot save syabuja danda. During the Rasa Lila, Lord Krishna embraced the gopi by the neck. Syabuja danda grihita kanta. So Krishna embraced the gopis by the neck. Even Lakshmi, hardly she gets the chance being embraced by Lord Narayan. Maximum her service to massage Lord Narayan's lotus feet. Sometimes she rests on his chest. But the gopis being embraced and kissed by Lord Krishna, being embraced by the neck and kissed on the cheeks, they are considered to be the best recipients of Lord Krishna's prasada, Lord Krishna's mercy. But among the gopis, who is the best? Srimati Radharani. Anayara dito nunam bhagavan haririshwaraha yanno vihaya govinda pritoyam anayad rahaha. So when the gopis felt some sense of pride within their heart, Krishna immediately disappeared from their sights during the rasa dance. So they were searching now for Krishna, and they tried to track where Krishna is by seeing Krishna's footprint. So they follow Krishna's footprint, and next to Krishna's footprint, there is Srimati Radharani's footprint. Anaya araditaha. So Sukadev Goswami never mentioned directly the name of Srimati Radharani in Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, if he mentioned the name of Srimati Radharani, so he immediately fall in trance. So the Srimad Bhagavatam's narration may get checked. That's why the name of Srimati Radharani addressed in that verse as the Araditaha means the best worshipper. So the gopi is saying that because she is the best worshipper of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yanno Vihaya Govinda Pritoyam Anayad Rahaha. Rahaha means secluded place. Alas, this special gopi, Lord Govinda, took her hand and and brought her to a secluded place and enjoyed there together. How unfortunate we are. So the gopis, being a pure devotee, although their positions are considered, their position is considered to be the best, yet the gopis still feels a transcendental jealousy, we can say transcendental jealousy toward Krishna's flute. Toward Krishna's flute. Why? Because Krishna always kissed that flute. Krishna never separated with his flute. Krishna never separated from his flute. When he plays his flute, so it is considered by the gopis that this flute is kissed by Krishna. Gopyakim acharadayam kusalam Gopyakim acharadayam kusalam smavenur damodara sudam api gopikanam bungte swayam yadavasista rasam hradinyo hrisatvachu mumuchus taravo yataryaha. The gopis said that, my dear gopi friends, Gopyakim acharadayam, what this bamboo tree has done in his previous life. Kim acharadayam kusalam sma venur. Now he becomes the flute of Lord Krishna, the Venu of Lord Krishna. Damodara dara sudam api gopikanam. And all the time, Lord Damodar, Lord Krishna, kiss this flute, Damodara dara sudam. Sudam means pure, but in that verse it is translated as nectar. Damodara dara sudam api gopikanam bungteya swayam yad awasista rasam hradinyo. Actually, this nectar is actually meant for us, for the gopis. But this flute is so easily getting that nectar from Krishna's lips. Hrisatvachu mumuchus taravo yataryaha. Definitely the ancestor of this bamboo tree now feeling ecstasy. That was the words, the feelings that the gopis genuinely express. We can analyze actually. That's the characteristic of a pure advanced devotees. Although their position is the best, considered to be topmost, yet they always feel that others are better than me. They consider the flute better than the gopis. But the gopis definitely, no doubt, consider to be very pure and the topmost devotees amongst Lord Krishna's devotees. So, come back to this verse again, that everything belongs to Krishna and we should offer everything to Krishna, and that's actually for our own benefit. Krishna is ātma-ārāmam, he's self-satisfied, he doesn't need anything for him to gain from outside source for his own happiness. He's completely satisfied. But when the devotee offers with love, so Krishna will accept that. And we can see actually from the so many narrations given in the scriptures, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, so many great personalities in which actually we can take some inspiration, seeing their activities, observing, hearing, especially hearing their activities. So we can learn from all these great personalities. And as Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, that ultimately unalloyed devotional service is our goal. I just read the last sentence here. Those who are engaged in devotional service of the Lord can rise to the position of unalloyed devotional service by his transcendental attraction. So we have to pray actually to Krishna, especially in the front of the deities, that please, just like Mother Kunti, Twayi menanya visaya matir madhupati sakrit ratim udwa hatad ada gange vaugam udan vatihi. So she prayed that Twayi me na anya visaya. Let there will be no other desire, desire, Twayi na anya. Let there will be no other desire apart from serving you, O my Lord Krishna. Matir madhupati sakrit ratim udwa atad adha. Rati means attraction. Let all my attraction just flow toward your Lord's feet. Gange Vaugam Udanvatihi. Just like the Mother Ganga flowed to the ocean without any hindrance. Without any hindrance. So we should pray like that. And ultimately, pure devotional service is the only goal of whatever we are doing as sadhakas. I remember when I was in Bangkok, in Thailand in 2013. So the pujari there mentioned to me 3 times. He told me after the Darshanarati, he told me, Prabhu, without bhakti, life is nothing. He repeated this 3 times. And due to my false ego, I thought, yes, I know that. Without bhakti, life is nothing. But if we really think about it, that's actually very deep. Without bhakti, life is nothing. Devahuti, Queen Devahuti, the mother of Kapila, mentioned in the 3rd canto, it's a beautiful verse. Nihayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirtha pada sevaya jivan api mrito hi saha. So nihayat karma dharmaya, if activities, karma, whatever we perform doesn't help us to become a religious man, that activity is considered to be useless. Nihayat karma dharmaya. And then na viragaya kalpate. Any religious activities which doesn't help us to become detached from this material world, vairagya, is considered useless. And then natirtha pada sevaya, after becoming detached from this material world, still we don't develop love for Krishna. Tirtha pada sevaya, we don't serve the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. That detachment is considered to be useless, just like how the Mayavadis they are doing. They are so detached from this material world, but they don't develop love for Krishna. So that's considered to be useless. Jivan api mrito hi saha. And she said that after getting this human form of life, if we don't serve Krishna, jivan api mrito hi saha. Although we are breathing, jivan api mrito hi saha. This body considered to be a corpse, dead, mrityu. Srila Prabhupada in his purport mentioned just like the breathing of the bellows. Well, nowadays hardly we find these bellows because we are cooking using gas stove, water flame up. But those days when I was a kid, I remember my mother still using it to blow up the firewood using the bellows. So the bellow is breathing, but actually it's a dead matter. So if we get human form of life, we don't engage ourselves in Krishna's service, so this life is nothing. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hare Krishna. We have like 9 minutes. If any devotees would like to give some comments or corrections, Hare Krishna. Especially we have here Srila Prabhupada's disciples, Hare Krishna. Janmastami Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yeah, slightly.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we can hear.
I kept thinking during your class about how we can develop this love. And
Prabhu can't hear, sorry.
You turn it up?
Probably need to increase the
I'm
volume.
talking pretty loudly. During your class, which was very good, a lot of nice references. Jivanath told me that you'd have a lot of good references, and he was right. But as you were, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, probably you have to scream a little bit.
I'm going to have to yell. Okay, you gave a very good class, and Jivanath tipped me off before your class that you use a lot of good references. And one thought that occurred to me, it kept coming into my mind as you were speaking, and there's one quote from Harinam Chintamani. What is the greatest jewel in the Lord's treasury? you know the answer?
What is the
Greatest jewel,
drawer?
jewel, like gem.
Yes,
jewel.
yes. Jewel.
The greatest jewel, okay, that's good. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. What's the greatest jewel in the Lord's treasury? You know the answer?
No, please tell me. Hare Krishna.
Anybody know? Yeah, the holy name. Because by chanting the holy name, then we develop, Krishna gets our heart. He gets our love. This is how it awakens. So I thought that was a significant point, in the whole flow that you were immersed in. How do we do it?
Right.
And that's the secret. That's the treasure. The greatest jewel in the Lord's treasury is the holy name, because that's how we get there. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Since you just mentioned the holy name, is the holy name, is our attachment to the holy name the same on all the different ways that we can chant the holy name? Like, just some people just say, I like japa, but I don't like Harinam. Or I like Harinam, but I don't really like japa. Or is the holy name going to affect everyone, and everyone will get that attachment no matter what? Or are we predispositioned to enjoy a certain way of chanting the holy name? Like, I like bhajan, I don't like Harinam. I like japa, I don't like that. Or is it you should like everything? And if you're not liking everything, do you feel like something's wrong with me? Does that make sense?
Well, one thing is that regardless of how we chant, whether it's in kirtan or in japa, if we're crying from our heart to Krishna with intense feeling, please Krishna, engage me in your service. Please Krishna, purify me. Please Krishna, accept me. And then the holy name descends in a very powerful way. And then we experience Krishna in His holy name. If we don't have the feeling, if it's just, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say that chanting is not lip deep, it's heart deep. So we chant from the heart, and if we don't, then we don't experience Krishna in His holy name. It's that mood that we have to take very seriously, to cry to Krishna, very intense feeling. And then it comes, Bhaktisiddhanta. Actually, no, this is where I heard this. This came from shortly after Prabhupada left. One of Prabhupada's dearest friends was Sridhar Maharaj in the Gaudiya Math. And I one time went with Satyarup Maharaj and Hridayananda Maharaj across the Ganga to visit Sridhar Maharaj. But he said that if we chant without the feeling in the heart, it's like firing a gun with blanks. It sounds like the holy name, or it sounds like a bullet's going out, but there's no bullet going out. So we can chant, with our lips, but if our heart's not there, the holy name doesn't really descend. There's a shloka from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but I can't think of it right now, that describes this, the external form of the holy name. But the real holy name comes when we chant from the heart.
Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the class. I just want to read something from 5th canto.
Sure.
5:18:21, translation and purport. My dear Lord, you automatically fulfill all the desires of a woman who worships your lotus feet in pure love. My dear Lord, you automatically fulfill all the desires of a woman who worships your lotus feet in pure love. However, if a woman worships your lotus feet for a particular purpose, you also quickly fulfill her desires. but in the end she becomes broken-hearted and laments. Therefore, one need not worship your lotus feet for some material benefit. Srila Rupa Goswami describes pure devotional service as anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavritam. One should not worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead to fulfill some material desire for success in fruitive activities or mental speculation. To serve the lotus feet of the Lord means to serve Him exactly as He desires. It's a long purport. I just want to go to the end. And the last paragraph. Lakshmi Devi advises all devotees who approach the Lord with material desires that according to her practical experience, the Lord is Kamadeva, and thus there is no need to ask Him for anything material. She says that everyone should simply serve the Lord without any motive. Since the Supreme Personality of Godhead is sitting in everyone's heart, He knows everyone's thoughts, and in due course of time, He will fulfill all desires. Therefore, let us completely depend on the service of the Lord without bothering Him with our material requests. So this is from, and just a small comment on the example you gave about Dhruva Maharaj. When Dhruva Maharaj approached Narada Muni, when Narada Muni came and met him, Dhruva Maharaj did not understand what is bhakti. He did not understand what is pure devotional service. So he was advised to do the austerities, and Narada Muni knew that eventually he will understand. So then Dhruva Maharaj went, he performed the austerities, and when the Lord appeared before him, then he was lamenting that, oh, why did I ask for these material opulences? I only want devotional service. So I just wanted to make this comment.
Thank you. Very much appreciated. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Last one, yeah? Krishna Kirtan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your nice class. I really liked that you were quoting from Shastra and having reference and everything. Actually, I appreciate that and I admire that.
Right.
Thank you. And thank you for Prabhu's for speaking about the glories of the holy name. I feel encouraged to chant and be more engaged in my japa. Thank you. Just a quick question. Excuse me if this sounds a little silly, but I'm just curious to know that the jewels and the flowers that Krishna wears,
I see. Thank you very much for your wonderful question. In the transcendental plane, everything is alive, including the stone in Goloka Vrindavan. Everything has personality. Sukadeva Goswami explained in the 9th canto, in the last chapter of the 9th canto, toward the end of the 9th canto, he explained, Yashyananam makara kundala charu karna brajat kapola subagam savilasahasam nityotsavam natatribur dirsibi pibantyo naryo nara chamudita kupitani mescha. So just the first line of that verse mentioning that Yashyananam makara kundala charu karna, Krishna's kundala, Krishna's earring in the form of sharks, that's actually also having personality. And the gopis, again, the gopis become envious toward that earring, because it always, when Krishna shake his head, this earring kiss Krishna's cheek. Makara kundala charu karna brajat kapola. So yeah, everything in the transcendental plane is animate. It has personality, including the stone, the water, everything. Because they have this connection with Krishna in Santa Rasa, passive adoration. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha